Today I am making 4 egg breakfast ideas that you can make over and over again. Why eggs, you ask? Well, I currently have so many eggs in my house, I don't know what to do with them. So we got some chickens in the spring and they're producing a lot of eggs right now. Now we love our chickens, sometimes a little too much. They're almost like our new family pets. They definitely provide a lot of excitement. So along with all the entertainment they provide, their eggs make some delicious breakfast recipes. All right, let's just fly into it. So before we start our 4 recipes, I want to show you a little trick that I've learned. Did you know that you could cook a lot of scrambled eggs in the oven? So I'm gonna show you how to do that first, and then we're gonna make the rest of the recipes. So we're first gonna start with 24 eggs that we're going to crack and mix into the bowl. Now that we have all our eggs cracked, we're gonna add about 2 1/4 teaspoons of salt. Now we're just gonna whisk and break up all the eggs until they're well combined. Next, you're gonna add about 2 1/2 cups of water or 2 1/2 cups of milk. Whatever you prefer, either one will work just fine. We'll slowly just whisk that in. Make sure you have a big enough bowl because it would be everywhere if you didn't. Now we're gonna take our 9x13 pan. I have a 1/2 cup of butter here all melted. We're gonna pour it onto the bottom of the pan. Spread it around a little bit. Now we're gonna pour all of our eggs into the pan. So we're gonna carefully take this, put it in our oven. Our oven is preheated to 350 degrees. We're gonna cook it for about 10 minutes and then check on it. All right, I know what you're thinking. This doesn't look like it's been cooked or anything, but it's actually slowly starting to cook. So your goal is to really scrape the bottom of your pan, get all the eggs that are starting to cook underneath there. Then we're just gonna stick it back in the oven for about 10 to 15 more minutes. We'll give it a check. All right, it took about 27 minutes or so about 17 more. At about 10 minutes after it's already been in there the second time, I mixed it one more time. But you guys, if you can see how fluffy these are, I don't know if I'll ever do it on a pan again. I am so excited. The first recipe I'm making is our breakfast tostadas. We're gonna start at the stovetop. You're gonna turn your stove to about medium-high heat. We're gonna add about a tablespoon or so of olive oil. Then we're gonna add our spinach, our red peppers, and I love to use these apple chicken sausages. We're gonna just heat these up until pretty much the peppers are cooked through. Now usually you would cook your eggs right here, but because we already cooked a lot of eggs, we don't need to. We're just gonna go straight into making the tostadas. Now, if you've never seen these before, these are tostada chips, I guess we'll call them. We're just gonna layer everything on. So we're gonna start with some eggs. Now, usually your eggs and your vegetables will be mixed together, but we separated them just a little bit. And we'll put some of the sausage, the peppers, and the spinach, and then top it all off with a little bit of cheese. And we're gonna take this, put it on a cookie sheet, and we're gonna broil them for just a minute or two. All right, all done with this one. Gonna give a little taste because that's my favorite part. That, my friends, is delicious. The next recipe is our breakfast braid recipe. Now this one is super simple, but everyone is going to love it. We're gonna start with our crescent dough sheet. You want a full rectangle of your crescent dough, so let's open this baby up. First, you wanna lay down some parchment paper or foil, kind of whatever you have. Then we're gonna roll out our crescent dough. If you let your crescent dough sit out for about 10 minutes, it will roll out a lot easier. Usually, you would go to the oven and cook about 6 eggs on your stovetop, but because we already have some eggs, we're gonna just use these ones. I'm gonna kind of just guess or just kind of put some eggs here in the middle. We just wanna fill up the middle. Now I took about 6 bacon strips, cut them all up, and we're gonna put them on top too. Now if you're kind of lazy, you can also use like the bacon bits you can buy in the bag individually, so you don't have to bake anything or cook anything. A lot of bacon, but I have a feeling it's gonna be good. Okay, next we have about a 1/2 cup of cheese. You can use any kind of cheese. This is like the 3 Mexican cheese. That's my kid's favorite right now. I personally enjoy cheddar cheese, but whatever you want, whatever floats your boat. I am gonna try and flatten this down just a little bit because we have to make this into a cool braid, but we don't want it too domed or it won't work very well. All right, now you're just gonna take your handy dandy pizza cutter and we're gonna cut 1-inch little strips on each side. Now for the fun part, we get to do the braid. So you wanna start at the very top. I like to take my right side first. You're gonna take your right side and kind of just move it over to the left. There are some pieces that are a little bit smaller, and it's okay if you can see your cheese and your bacon and your eggs through it. When it cooks, it will actually shrink down a little bit so you'll be able to see it. Pinch the top, kind of pinch the bottom. It's not the prettiest thing you've ever seen yet. Just wait till it's cooked. So we're gonna bake this at 375 degrees for about 15 minutes. Okay, it's all cooked through. Now I'm gonna take pizza cutter and you can just slice it right into pieces. Gotta taste it. Yes, highly suggest it. All right, let's move on to the next recipe. The next recipe I'm making is our ham, egg, and cheese breakfast roll-up. This is kind of similar to the one we just made, but individual servings and with ham, so personally I like it better. You're gonna start with some crescent dough. You want the ones that come in rolls, but my store didn't have any rolls left, so this one is a sheet, but we're gonna make it work and I'll show you how to do it. We're gonna open this up again, here we go. I'm curious, if you have a better way of opening these, I would love to hear because I struggle with them. Ha! Now usually if you buy the ones with rolls, it comes with 8. So we're going to cut it into 8 little triangles. I'm gonna gently lay this down. I like to put parchment paper underneath it. It just makes cleanup so much easier. Grabbing my handy dandy pizza cutter, we're gonna go right down the middle and then right in half. And then with each one, we're just kind of gonna go do a triangle on the side. So from corner to corner, so that makes like a little roll, a little pizza slice, but you'll have 8 that are pretty evenly cut. You're gonna take a spoonful of eggs, you're gonna put it in the wider part of your roll. Then we're gonna grab just a little bit of ham, a little bit of cheese. Here's the trick that my mom taught me. I love watching her. You grab 2 corners, you kind of pull them into the middle, then you gently roll these babies up. Just like that. All the crescents are rolled up. We're ready to just stick them in the oven. We're going at 375 for about 10 minutes. We're gonna check on them. Okay, favorite part of the whole day. That is good. The ham makes it really good. We're all done with this recipe. Let's move on to the last one. For the final breakfast, which happens to be one of my favorite, is German pancakes. Now these are easy German pancakes. There are some recipes that are a little more difficult. These ones are easy. So we're gonna start with about 5 tablespoons of butter. You're going to put it in your 9x13 pan. Then you're gonna stick this pan in a cold oven. Then you're gonna preheat your oven to 425 degrees. Now while the butter melts, we're going to make everything else. So we're gonna start with 1 cup of milk and we're gonna add 6 eggs to it. Then to your eggs, before we mix, I just like to add all the liquid stuff. It just makes my life easier. So we're gonna add about a teaspoon of vanilla and then a little bit of salt. So just a dash of salt. Now we're gonna whisk it up. You just wanna make sure there are no egg yolks. We want this as smooth as can be. Okay, once all your eggs are well combined, we're gonna just add 1 cup of flour and then mix that in really good. We don't want flour chunks here. I like to mix this for about a solid minute, making sure all the chunks are out. Okay, butter is melted. Our thing is all mixed. We're just going to pour this very gently just into the pan. So now your oven's preheated, everything's ready to go. We're gonna cook it for about 22 minutes. I'm gonna check it at about 15 because we don't want it to burn. So let's stick it in the oven. Fluffy. Okay, it's all cooked and it's supposed to go like this. So usually the edges get a little crispier, but if you wait about 10 minutes, it will go down pretty far. But I like to cut it into about 8 pieces or so. So we'll just cut it right across. German pancakes, my favorite thing is to put on a little bit powdered sugar and then a little bit of fruit. You can also put syrup on it too if you want. That's what my kids love, but I'm just a powdered sugar and raspberry kind of girl. I love German pancakes so much. All the egg recipes, I like them a little sweeter. This one happens to be my favorite. Now, if you want more easy breakfast recipes like these ones, I have plenty for you just right up there. All right, you guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.